Hi Gayatri, my name is Kumar.
Hi, Kumar.
Is anyone else joined?
I'm Jonathan. I'm here.
Hi Jonathan, this is Shiva.
Okay, hi.
Before we start up, I would like to understand about your backgrounds, and before that I will just brief about myself. My name is Kumar, and I have 10 years of experience, and I mostly worked in the implementations and the support projects. Gayatri, can I know your background?
Yeah, I'm an accounting person. I have 5 years of experience in accounting and finance.
Okay. What about the PeopleSoft?
No, I don't have anything on PeopleSoft.
Okay. What about Jonathan?
I have a background in finance. I've been doing sales, real estate, accounting for past 5 years, but I don't have any PeopleSoft experience, so I want to get into PeopleSoft. My family does a lot of PeopleSoft, but I want to get into it myself.
Okay, great. It's a bit easy for me to explain about the accounting concepts and everything. Good that you both are from the accounting background. Okay. Maybe let me start off maybe we can plan how we can go further about it. Okay. Do you guys know how the functional things works in any ERP?
I've never worked with an ERP before.
I have worked before in ERP and SAP, so I know a little bit about that. But SAP we go as a GUI concept, right? Graphical user interface. So we go through that and we do the SAP. But here the PeopleSoft is a little different, looks like.
Okay. Okay. So let me just give you how the ERPs works and what exactly or how can we can relate it to the functional stuff to the technical what do you call functional side. Okay. I will cover only the functional part of the PeopleSoft. Okay. So as you know, PeopleSoft or any React, okay, in the normal operations, we do a lot of activities like subsystems, subledgers, and the ledgers. Okay. So ultimately, end of the day, when you see any ERP, so how you want to track your transactions and subsystems, and when you go to the GL level, and from there, how you reported your local repositories depends upon the requirement. Okay. So the mainly way in the functional side when you cover up in the FSM side. So how the operations works, okay, and how because we need to mainly understand each and every bit of the application, how the application works, okay. And once we know how the application works in a consulting form, where if you want to do implementation, so if you know about how the application works, then we can understand the required from the client side. Then we can configure the system according to exactly match with the requirement. So when we suggest something to the client or when we prepare something to the working on the particular ERP side, so we should know that the functionality of the application. Okay, so I don't need too much stress about the operation side, since you both are from the accounting background and also have some accounting experience. So I majorly cover the how the system works. Okay. Just give me a few minutes, so because my server is starting running. So once it is up, I can show the system and maybe what modules you guys are expecting from me.
I'm looking for finance model to PeopleSoft.
Yeah,
All
just
the
like
modules.
everything from the GL, AP, and all that.
Right, everything from the finance model.
Okay, sure. Okay. Before this application start, quickly we just brush up on the how the subsystem subledgers will work. Okay. I think you guys are aware how the AP works. Okay, we'll start with AP, accounts payable. Okay, why we need to do the AP? AP is like as and when there is any liability incurred by the company, so the company is liable to make the payment to the vendors. So then the AP comes into the picture. Okay, and prior to that, if you are using, depends upon the module. If you are using the e-procurement, okay, like is a purchasing module. So if you are using the purchasing module, so in general scenario, first whenever any requirement comes, the first we need to the requisition will be raised. So before the requisition, it will go to the respective departments and they will validate the budgets, whether what are the requirement or like what are the purchase requisitions which you are receiving to purchase it. So we first with the budget validation will be budget checks will be validated, and once everything is fine, the buyer or buyers requisition will be raised in the system. So once the requisition is raised, then depends upon the approval process and everything, it will go on, and once it is approved, then it will go to the admin team where they can actually procure whatever the requirement raised by the concerned department. So once the if you are using the PO related invoices, or if you are using non-PO related invoices, so as and when the invoice comes, then it will go to the respective the finance team, and where the respective department who actually validate the particular invoices. Yes, this particular cost belongs to my department or cost of the respective projects. So they will just give the project details, account details, and everything, and then they will send it to the AP team. The AP team is the finance team, where actually the separate department who actually validate, who actually receive the invoice copy, and they will process the invoice in the system. Then they will make the payment to the vendors. So when it comes to the AP, so in any ERP, if you want to become a consultant, you should be very familiar with the accounting process. If you take the example of AP, how the entire process works, where it starts and where it ends. So that's the important thing. Okay, as we continue on the current AP process, like once the invoice received from the vendor, so then it will go to the respective department, and the admin department will validate. And if they are using the PO module and the receipts, they will people will raise the receipt, and the PO will be matched. And there are a concept called matching concept. Okay, you will do the three-way matching, two-way matching, four-way matching. So two-way matching is like a PO and the invoice will be validated. Three-way matching is PO, receipt, and the invoice will be validated. So these kind of setups will be maintained in the ERP side, and it is automated. So once the validation is completed, then the voucher will be created in the system. So prior to that, we have to create a vendor master. So why it is required a vendor master? Because if you want to make the payment to any vendor, first you have to keep a record of the vendors. So that depends upon the vendor category, like whether it is a supplier, it's a contractor, whether it is, because those are very categories very important, because depends upon that only whether it is applicable withhold, whether it is applicable VAT. Those things will be comes to the picture. So once the vendor is created, because why we need to maintain the vendor master, because if you do a lot of business with the vendor, so you will have to maintain the vendor master details. So once the vendor is created, invoice will be generated. Once the invoice is created, depends upon your requirement. For example, if your company using the approval workflow, that means any invoice which comes, that has to be gone to the proper approval process, depends upon the threshold limits. Okay, so that approval process setups will be done in the system. Once the approval process is completed, like then it will look for the matching process, whether all the matching is completed in the system. Yes, all the invoices whatever we received and whatever invoice validated, everything is matching fine, so ready for the payment. So then depends upon the due date, we will create the pay cycle setups and everything. And once you run the pay cycle, so it will be picked in the particular pay cycle, and it will be paid to the vendor. So in between there are from the system side there are a couple of things will be done when the liability will be generated in the system, when you run the pay cycle, when you run the payment entry has to be generated in the system. So how the system will understand, how the system will automatically pick up those entries and will be created. So those we can cover that. Is this my explanation is fine with you people?
It's fine. It's just a little hard to hear sometimes.
Sorry?
It's a little hard to hear you sometimes.
Okay, you can just like raise your hand like whenever you are not comfortable. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Just a little. Yeah, it echoes a lot.
So in the PeopleSoft also there are PeopleSoft, I think in 1990s actual PeopleSoft is used, and in 2007 PeopleSoft acquired by the Oracle company, and from there the Oracle is maintaining this PeopleSoft. Okay, so in 70s when initially started, they created a version. Okay, each and every PeopleSoft will be developed in the different versions. Okay, so each and every version has like their own advantages and new features enabled in the new versions. Okay, so when initially it is started, it is the version called 7.5. That is the first version which I worked, and later they created 8. 8 is like more advanced, and the look wise and everything is entire quite different than the 7.5, and after 8, 8.1, 8.2, 8.4, and 8.8, 8.9, 9.1, and in March 2013 Oracle has released the latest version of 9.2. Okay, the version which right now I'm showing is like 9.2, which is the latest version. Okay, if you see the earlier if you saw this particular PeopleSoft, it looks entirely different than 8. All 9.1 is have advanced lookups, but when you see that 8.8, 8.4 looks wise till 8.1, 8.4, 8.7, 8.8, 8.9 till 9 it looks similar. 9 or 9.1 also similar, but the lookups and everything, the advanced features are enabled is like it's drastically changed with the Oracle. Lot of reportings kind of stuffs, and a lot of what are the missing in the requirements from the client. So those are incorporated in the latest versions. So this version, this is called Enter PeopleSoft FSCM. You can see all the different modules. Okay, everything is interrelated. Okay, and when it comes to the functional point of view, okay, functional point of view, the main configuration will be done under the set of financials. Okay, so in the set of financials, you can see different things like installation options, security, upgrade, and the business unit related, common definition related, and product related. Okay. So majorly we always majorly work as a functional consultant. We always work on the installation options will be used when you are implementing the ERP or when you are upgrading the ERP. So major configurations will be done under the installations. Installation at a highest level. Okay, and later if you want to from after installation options, then it will start, the main configuration will start under the BU, business unit related, common definitions, and product related. It has a huge importance of these three tabs. That is, I'm just stressing here. Okay, BU related. So whenever you are creating any business unit, irrespective of the subledger, like if it is an AP, if it is an AR, if it is a billing, if it is a time and expenses, if it is a project costing, if it is AM, asset management, anything, if you want to create a subledger business unit, Okay, first those configurations will be done under the business unit related. This is the business related configurations. Okay, then common definitions. The common definitions has a lot of importance because commonly defined some of the setups. So that means this whatever the configuration will done under the common definition level is not restricted to the specific business unit or product. Okay, that can be used across the business unit and across the modules. Okay, so those kind of setups will be done under the common definition level. Product related. So here product related means again it's a specific to the product. Okay, so any type of configuration which I will do under the product related is specific to the product. For example, I'll take payables are okay. So payables means accounts payables comes under the procurement option. So that's why I opened this procurement options. Okay, for example, voucher related. If I want to do anything voucher related, matching rule setups, matchings, and period and accruals, okay, and voucher origins, voucher build criteria. So these are some of things which is exclusively used only for the voucher related processes. So whenever I do setup at the voucher level under the procurement vouchers here, so that means this particular configuration is enabled and will be used only for the specific module. You got the difference between all these three?
Not
Yeah.
all.
You want me to repeat one more time?
Yeah, not all of it, but I mean it's new to me, so I mean maybe go on.
Yeah, it will take some time. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'm telling a high level overview. Okay, when we dig into the each module wise and screen by screen, and the later sessions I will explain how it works and everything. Okay.
Okay.
As it's just like overview of high level overview, I'm just giving what are the configurations, where do we do, and
Sure.
the main thing here we need to catch here is like we need to understand the difference between the business unit related setup, a common definition related setup, and the product related setups. So
Okay.
business unit related, again repeat them one more time because it's very very important. Okay, and tomorrow in the when you have like a opportunity and a hands-on experience, and when you got the requirement, itself, okay, if I want to create a new business unit, where do I go and do it? So obviously in your mind it should immediately strike that okay, I have to go to the business unit related. There I have to define my business unit. Yes, sir. Something commonly we will use. For example, common definition related currency. So currency, I'll take one of the example. Okay, currency. If I say the currency is not restricted to the one business unit or one specific module. Currency will be used in each and every module. Okay, so that means if I define my currency under the common definition level, so that means this can be used across the modules, any module, AP, accounts payable, accounts receivable, billing, project costing, expenses, wherever it comes. So I can use this particular configuration. Okay, for example, calendars. So calendars are very important. For example, if you are GL level, the calendars are important. Subsystem level also, some of the calendar, sometimes the calendars are important. For example, holidays. If you create your holidays, how do you link it to your bank configuration? Because you should avoid the missing of your dues, the payments due on the holidays. So that we will link it to your bank configurations. So that whenever you have any invoices which is falling due on those holidays, so system should trigger and will be processed in advance. So how do your system understand? First you have to define your holiday calendar and that link to your business unit bank level, or sometimes you can link it to your business unit level. Up to you, like because different options are available on each and every level. So wherever you want to use it, you can use it. So this is not restricted to any specific module or any specific subsystem level. so that what we can do, whatever we are configuring under the common definitions can be used anywhere. Okay, for example, EFT, electronic fund transfers. So EFT will be used for your payments. When you want to make on account to account payments, okay, I'm just giving very example. Okay, so where do you do it? In the accounts payable, you can use this particular EFT option, sir. Okay, when you are doing your expenses, employee related reimbursements, sir. If you want to do that, is the travel and expense module. So in the travel and expense also, whenever the employees submit their expenses, if you want to make the payment through the EFT, like electronic fund transfer, you can use it, this particular option there also. Okay, and when it comes to the receivable, so sometimes you use your receivables from your customers in the AR module. So you want to use your logbox process and everything. So by using the EFT options, you can use that one as well. Okay, so I'm just giving one example of it like this. So these kind of things will be used anywhere. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll start with accounts payable. Is it fine with you people?
Sure.
Yeah. So before that, before we get into this specific module, the main concept, okay, the main important concept where we need to understand is like a set controls and set control tables. What is set control? What is set control tables? Okay. So now, for example, in this examples, what I'm explaining the currency. Okay, if I use the currency code, okay, certain things is coming from the delivered and certain things which we have to manually create it. The currency is actually what are the examples which are given. See here, if you search any currency code, it will always be displayed because the PeopleSoft, the Oracle, when they develop the application, they have included maximum currency codes available in the world. Okay, so that's why we no need to specifically create anything, but certain things I will tell you. See, most of the places you will see this is called set ID. Okay, this is very, very important. This is a very fundamental and very important concept in the database side. Okay, so now I have created one set ID called share. Under the share, these are the accounts, the chart of accounts which I am creating. Okay. For example, in this particular share, I've created, there are different types of the account types, okay, assets, expenses, liability, and equity. Okay, so each and every business unit which is required this setup. Okay, in the database concepts, to save the database space, okay, the same information will be used across the entities, different business units. So for each and everything, you no need to, the information is also same. Okay, so these kind of situations, so some of the situations, what we will do, we will use the same data across the different tables. Okay, whatever the front end which we are seeing, everything will be stored under the backend table. So in the Oracle, the SQL tables, each and everything will be stored. Whatever, for example, in this one, the data will be stored in a different table. Account, there is a called some account table. So that table, whatever the data is created here, will be stored in the particular table. Okay. If the same data will be used by the multiple entities, okay, instead of creating the multiple times, what I do, I will use this particular the set ID, the share, the particular in the account type, the share, I will use the same thing across the different entities, so that my data storage space will be come down, and second thing, the performance will be increased, and third thing is like, instead of repeatedly creating the same data multiple times, I can use the same data wherever I require. Okay, the concept of for the Saturday Saturday concept, commonly use the data across the different tables. Okay, the common data which we will use in the account across the different tables. So that is the main importance of this particular Saturday. So whenever you do any implementation, the main and first and foremost, first you have to create, before you create a GL, first you have to create the set control table, set control ID and the set control table. This will be little bit confused for you people, don't worry, because as and when we go further, then you will understand it. But the reason why I started with this pattern, because this is the first and foremost, as a consultant we have to do this, okay, and we need to understand it actually.
Kumar, I just want to interrupt you. I was working in SAP, so like I know like we used to create company code, company ID. So is it what similar to SAT ID?
No, company code is something different. SAT ID is different. See, company code which actually means your business unit ID, correct?
Yep. Oh, okay.
But SAT ID is not a business unit ID.
Okay. When you create this SAT ID, it is going to be stored in the Oracle database itself, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Whatever you do in the front end, so each and everything is related to the multiple tables and the pages, and the pages will be linked to the components, and the components is linked with the multiple tables, and multiple tables, each and every multiple table will be created with a logic. Okay, that is a people code and STR reports. There are different things will be there. Okay, depends upon that it will be created, it will be stored in the database. Okay.
So like how we can connect to the database again, like once if we want to search something?
Yeah, that is a separate configure setup. I will show you that.
Okay.
So the main thing in the people is called like a people tools, under the utilities, under the administration. Okay, there are two things. Okay, one is like set ID, table set ID, and the table set control ID. Okay, for example, I will show you the existing one. Share. Okay, it's a standard corporate set ID. That's all. You just have to create first. Then this is the delivered one. People say we don't need to create all those things. Okay. The moment I clicked on the share, okay, if you see there are 100 records you can see. Okay, this is called record group controls. Okay, and there are 367 the record group IDs already created by the Oracle. This is the delivered package whenever you do implementation. When you bought the license from the Oracle, they will give you this entire dump. Okay. So these are the tables which the record groups is available. So there is a lot of importance. Okay, we don't get into the in detail about what is the set ID, how the data will be stored, and everything. But I will cover this when we like proceeding further on the further concepts. I will later. Okay. So here, if you see, for example, agencies. Okay, in the AM, there are different record groups that the Oracle is identified, and which is from the module side, it is created and linked here. For example, we'll take small asset profiles. In the AM, each and whenever you create any asset, there is an asset profile has to be created. Okay. For example, in one of my requirement, I want to create a profile with ABCD some details. And another entity, I just want to use a different profile, CDEF or something information, which is unique information. So whenever you create the asset profiles, system will ask you with the set ID. Okay, so there you will give as a set ID as like share or whatever the naming convention you want to like, so that we will use it. So once you create it there, that data will be stored under the particular set ID. So if I want to use, this is the default one, it will be coming up. Okay, if I want to specifically use and not a share related the set ID, I want to use which is you created specific entity. So that set ID will be linked to this particular set ID. So what will happen? This particular entity, asset profile, whatever you exclusive the unique ID you have created, so that we are linking to this particular set ID, so that that particular entity alone can use the particular setup. Am I confused? Gayatri?
Yeah.
Does it
Yeah.
make sense or?
No, I'm confused.
Yeah, don't worry. Okay. Maybe I will show you one by one. Okay. Okay. Blindly you can just remember that. Okay. Saturday and Saturday is very important.
I think like before going to accounts payable, like how this configuration is done, if you tell us that one, then probably it's going to help.
Yes. See, no, the reason why I'm trying to start with one specific module, okay. So when I'm creating some kind of configurations, so that I can relate, I can show you. Then it is easy for you to understand this particular page. These configurations will be understood. Okay. Is it fine? Gayatri?
Yep.
Is it no? What I'm trying to say is like instead of that, because this is the default page. Okay. For example, if you want to create a new Saturday, now I want to create a new entity. Okay. So for that I have to create one Saturday. Okay. Normally how it works, initially when you start implemented first time in your organization, then only you have to create the table set control. Okay. For example, share, whatever we, I can say share here. Okay. This is the system automatically, when I'm starting up my installation application for the first time when I'm installing here in the organization, first I will create any unit. For example, here